Ngayong buwan ng Pebrero ay buwan ng pag-ibig. Kaya naman tunghayan natin ng isang mapagmahal na asawa at may matibay na debosyon kay Santo Padre Pio. Isang batikang aktres at hinahangaan pa rin hanggang sa ngayon sa showbiz. Walang iba kundi si Mrs. Boots Anson at ngayon ay kasalukuyang cast ng Manupo Legacy sa GMA 7.
Good morning! Magandang umaga po sa ating mga kapiyo. Si Boots Anson Rodrigo. Simula ng pagiging deboto ko kay Padre Pio noong mga 2006. At that time, my late husband, si Petro, ay medyo pabalik-balik na sa ospital noon. He was a stroke patient for 10 years until 1997. During his last year, nagkaroon din siya ng cancer of the stomach, which spread later on to the brains and to the lungs. I had heard a lot about Padre Pio and read some things about him, but it was not until nung nasa ospital kami in one of the hospitalizations of Pete. Pinasyalan kami sa ospital, dinasalan nila si Pete at iniwan sa amin yung relic ni Padre Pio. And nung gumaling na si Pete, temporarily gumaling, naaya ko na siyang pumunta sa Padre Pio Shrine, and we had been there a couple of times. Nag-attend kami ng misa at novena. Yun yung simula nun, yun yung core ng devotion namin. Yung tinuturing naming milagro na ginawad ni Padre Pio sa aming pamilya through Pete, my husband, ay hindi yung typical milagro na may thunder and lightning, na kumukulog, di ba? Wala, it was a very quiet miracle. It was a miracle of Pete's transcendence of life, kung paano niya nilampasan yung buhay at kung paano siya itinawid mula sa pagiging buhay hanggang siya ay pumasok na sa kaharian ng Panginoon. Hiningi ko lang kay Padre Pio, by way of his interceding for us to the Lord, kasi intercessor siya for us, kung ano ba yung aming mission for Pete and for other sick people. That was all we were asking from Padre Pio. And for Pete in particular, na hindi siya higit pang mahirapan. Kasi dun sa naranasan na niya those 10 years or so, na sana aabot na siya dun sa pinto ni San Pedro. Sana hindi siya masyadong mahirapan. I think the miracle there was, una, nagkaroon ng debosyon si Pete kay Padre Pio. Hindi mahilig sa novena, sa devotion niya. He was a practicing Catholic, he was a spiritual person. But by way of novenas, devotions, hindi siya masyadong komportable. Tuwing umaga, pag ini-injeksyonan ko siya ng kanyang insulin, binibigyan ko siya ng mga gamot. It was like 5 in the morning. Sinisingit ko na yung devotion kay Padre Pio, yung novena. And nilagyan ko siya ng maliit na statwa ni Padre Pio sa kanyang side table. His end was not too far off. Lumapit siya sa Panginoon, and Padre Pio was one of his intercessors. Finally, ang hingi ko lang sa Diyos, huwag niyo lang siyang pahirapan. Let it not be a turbulent death. Let it not be a death na talagang makucrucify siya with pain. Kasi 3 days before Pete died, naranasan na niya yung nagkumbulsyon. Tapos yung struggle sa paghinga, namula yung mata, naghahabol ng hininga. We thought he was going to die at that time. So we were advised na, sige, ilagay nyo na sa life support. We were hoping we wouldn't have to do that. Kasi mahirap pag nilagay mo sa life support, at some point, somebody from the family will have to pull out the plug kung kailangan. We told the Lord and we asked Padre Pio to intercede for us. Kayo na po ang bahala. Sana hindi po dumating sa sitwasyon or pagkakataon na kailangan tanggalin yung plug na yun. let the Lord's time take over, let His management of the situation take over, let God's flow, final moments of peace be taken over by the Lord. Ganun na ang nangyari, no? That was 3 days before he died, na ilagay yung life support na yon. And on the day of his death, at noontime, yung dalawa ni Pete nag-uusap, and I told him, let us offer your life up to the Lord. Kung meron akong kailangang ihingi ng tawad sa iyo, siguro marami yun, patawarin mo ako. Kung meron man akong kailangang ipataw na patawaran sa iyo, kung meron kang gustong ihingi ng tawad sa akin, pinapatawad na kita. Don't worry about us. We will be okay. We know that where you're going, you will be okay. You'll be in a better place in the arms of the Lord. So, let go. Just let go and let God. Between noontime and 4, unti-unti bumaba yung kanyang vitals, yung BP niya, and his other vitals. For 15, after several decades of the rosary among the family members, we just kept on praying. Hindi nga ako makalapit sa kanya sa kama kasi baka hindi ko kaya. The greatest challenge was yung nakikita si Pete na naghihirap. And I remember my words to the Lord, hirap na po itong asawa niya. Sana ako na lang ang bigyan niya nitong hirap na ito. Kasi 10 years naman siyang naghihirap. That's a long time. But again, part of the miracle was that Pete was given the strength and the strength of spirit, and the wherewithal and the strength of will to just carry on. Itong nangyari sa akin, siguro this was a call from the Lord. Hindi niya ako makuha sa bulong, kaya siguro sinigawan ako at binatukan ako, sabi niya. Kaya itong stroke and the cancer after that. Of course, there were times when things became very difficult, but Padre Pio was always there. Bawat paghihirap na dadaanan natin, in the end, we can only be thankful kasi pinatibay tayo ng mga karanasan na yun. Hindi lamang tayo, kundi yung faith natin, yung pananampalataya natin sa Panginoon, yung pananampalataya natin sa isa't isa. The family became closer during the trials. I think the greatest blessing that we had, we never lost our sense of gratitude to the Lord. Hindi umiral sa amin yung sama ng loob. We're trying to our best to be good people. But naman kami, wala yung ganon. It was from the beginning an acceptance of God's will that we prayed for, discernment, malaman ko ano dapat gawin, and the strength and the faith to just carry on. Sige, ride lang, sakay lang kami hanggang kaya. And Padre Pio was very, very instrumental.
Matapos ang 10 taon, payapang yumaw ang kanyang asawa at nanaig kay Mrs. Boots Anson ang matinding pananampalataya sa Diyos at araw-araw na pagdidibisyon kay Santo Padre Pio.
Everyday, Aling, kinakausap ko si Padre Pio kasi everyday nagno-nobena ako sa kanya. It's part of my morning ritual. Everyday, I just thank Him for interceding unang-una to the Lord for us because He's our intercessor. Naaayon po sa kalooban ng Panginoon. Mas constant ako, mas consistent ako. My mindfulness about Padre Pio's existence and his health has grown through the years. And despite maraming distractions, despite maraming pinagkakamalahan, hindi nawawala talaga yung Padre Pio help, Padre Pio tulong. Tapos yung novena everyday, it just keeps me in touch with Him. Sustain, if not make stronger our existing devotion to God.
Naging instrumento rin si Mrs. Boots Anson upang mapalawig ang debosyon kay Santo Padre Pio. Nakapag-produce din siya ng isang dokumentaryo na nagpunta siya sa San Giovanni Rotondo, Italy, na pinamagatang Into the Lights, A Story of Faith, Healing, and Answered Prayer.
Like many of his prayerful followers all over the world, my family's relationship with Saint Pio Pietrelcina is of an unusually personal nature. It all began in 2006 when my husband Pete, a cancer and stroke patient, found great comfort in a relic that was brought to him regularly. When Pete passed away in 2007, I continued with his devotion and service to the saint who he had grown very fond of. I instituted PRIME, the Pete Roa Integrated Media Endeavors Foundation, one of the key missions of which was to propagate devotion to the saint. Producing and acting in a play on his life answered many questions for me. But it made me want to know much more about the saint, as much as possible on a first-hand basis. That's why it felt like an answered prayer when in 2009, I was invited to join a pilgrimage, one of the highlights of which was a visit to San Giovanni Rotondo, where the saint lived and died.